I'll be honest with you. Imagine stealing $175 million, right? And only getting 7 years. That's it. 7 years prison. That's insane, man. It should be way longer than that. But anyway, let's check this video out by Atozy. This is going to be insane.
Forbes 30 under 30 to 7 years behind bars, all because she thought scamming JP Morgan Chase was a good business plan. And take your personal
Wait, she was going to scam the bank? Okay.
business plan. I have no idea why anyone would ever think that's a good idea, but hey, you know how every startup founder likes to say we're changing the world? Well, Charlie Javis did change the world, just not in the way that she planned. She started off as a Forbes recognized fintech star who once promised to change how students apply to college aid, but now she's spending the next 7 years in federal prison. Big shocker here, but if JP Morgan Chase hands you $175 million to buy your company, you should probably not lie about having 4 million customers when you actually have 300,000.
Oh, thanks, HyperX.
And when JP Morgan wanted proof of 4 million plus users, the plan was to turn it into a heist, because she then paid a professor $18,000 to algorithmically spin up millions of fake accounts. The list was then sent, and right after the data was ordered, it was immediately destroyed after the third-party checks.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, when you're inflating numbers and things like that, ooh, yeah, I've seen some what is it, cases of this, but for sure, man. It's yeah. Especially when those numbers are trying to be counted for, for actual users, actual accounts made and things like that. Especially when, oh gee, I don't know, when said that company it's going to be bought out for, because the amount of active users and members and all that stuff for said company. Right.
The best part, this whole mess started with a company designed to help students to fill out for their FAFSA, essentially the most boring government form in existence. And somehow it ended with bank fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy charges, and a whole courtroom meltdown.
Once a star CEO on the Forbes 30 under 30 list, now a judge has sentenced this startup founder turned fraudster to 7 years in prison after being convicted of duping a major investment bank out of a staggering $175 million.
All right. Now where's that money?
Had millions of users, but after the deal went through, JP Morgan discovered that number was close to just 300,000.
Well, to be frank, that sounds like a massive skill issue. Come on, 300,000 real users. That's crazy. Exit for a couple million. Be set for life and use that cushion to build a future product. Like,
I'll be for real, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much she would have gotten for that much. Let's say that she did. Let's say that she did get a couple million. Bro, you're set for a long time for that much. But bro, this girl had to double, triple, quadruple down on getting the maximum amount of money. Damn, bro. You oh man, you were good. I won't be for real. You were good. But no, greed had to take in.
Why would you defraud the largest bank in the world? Like, that's just a whole new level of being naive to think that you wouldn't get caught. But first, just in the last couple of years, we've had that massive Ticketmaster leak and the National Public Data leak not too long before that. Out of nowhere, millions of people's information was just blasted all over the internet for anyone to grab. And once it's there, scammers unfortunately can use it to open fake accounts, send super convincing phishing emails, and even try to steal your identity. And that's why I'm glad I've been using today's sponsor, Incogni, because Incogni fights all those data brokers for you.
I was gonna say, where's this going?
Let's continue the video. Anyway, but I guess let's just rewind back to 2017. Charlie Javis was a pretty recent college grad at the time. She launched Frank, a platform meant to make applying to college financial aid easier.
Frank, really? From all the names you could use, you use Frank. Oh my God, dude, we're coming back to like one like simple as words. Like titles and shit. Wasn't there a movie that's coming out, or at least it came out already? It had like some like basic ass name called like Dark or some other shit. I don't even know. I was, yeah.
Think TurboTax, but for broke college students. It was supposed to unlock thousands of dollars in loans, grants, and scholarships with a single form, which on paper sounds like a great idea. She even told reporters there's no one too poor to file a FAFSA or too rich to file a FAFSA. And Frank would do the heavy lifting, even handling tax data automatically so students could take a picture of their tax returns and then finish the whole process in 4 minutes.
So we like to say there's no one too poor to file FAFSA or too rich to file FAFSA. And so if you have a household income that's probably $250,000 or under, you should likely apply. That being said, if it is over, you still have opportunities for scholarships and grants. So it's for everyone. So take the few minutes it takes to apply and really see what you're eligible for, because that's the best starting point you can get.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. If you're in a household that's making more than 200 grand a year, brother, you're not struggling. I'll be for real. You are not struggling.
Review is from 2019, and obviously it didn't age well. But what upsets me is this seems to be actually a pretty decent product, but she got greedy and wanted to spoof the numbers. And come on, if only she just followed her own advice.
Dream smart is what we like to say. Dream big, but dream smart.
By dream big, I guess she meant figure out how to scam a bank out of almost $200 million. At the surface, like, this all seemed to work. Charlie was on the news, appearing to be on the Forbes 30 under 30 list.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me go back.
This all seemed to work.
Let me go back. All I see is right here at the bottom. Fifth arrest made in connection with attack on lesbian couple writing on a London bus. I read attack on lesbian couple, and I was like, it's like, what?
Appearing to be on the Forbes 30 under 30 list and bragging about how her company had already helped students access $7 billion in funding. But behind the scenes, the numbers literally were not adding up. So in 2021, JP Morgan Chase, they came knocking. They saw Frank's supposed 4 million users and were like, hey, this would be a great customer base for us to then sell our banking products to.
Right.
The only problem was that Frank didn't have 4 million users. The real number was closer to 300,000. So according to prosecutors, Javis...
my question would have been, how long would it have taken for them when the company was made, and then when it reached to 4 million users, because that there might have been a point where it just massively skyrockets, and that, to me, if I was the investor, I would have, if I would have seen that, I would have been like, this is very abnormal. I mean, like, this is the thing, it's not uncommon for some of the, for some to be like really, really popular, right? But to skyrocket that much to 300,000 to suddenly 4 million in a short span, no.
Did what any totally not a fraudulent entrepreneur would do. She just made up the rest. Fake names, fake data, fake customer lists, even hiring a data scientist to generate phony accounts. One prosecutor even said that JP Morgan acquired a crime scene. I mean, ever since I saw the story, I'm sitting here thinking, why would anyone think it's a good idea to try to scam the biggest bank in the world? Hello, is that not obvious? That you're going to get caught? They're also like one of those targets that will absolutely make sure that you get punished to the max extent of the law. And also, even after selling the company and having the check cleared into her account, would that anxiety not just be insane? Like, I would be sitting up every night going, is tomorrow the day I suddenly get caught? Like, hello. But she stood to pocket about $29 million from the sale, and I guess that just made lying worth it to her. 7 years in prison, though, I doubt that's worth it. So fast forward till 2023.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, the true question is that did they take that money away? That's the true question. Because I'm like, 7 years, sure, but she gets to come out with, what is it, with almost $30 million. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, it's crazy, 7 years of prison. Yeah, I agree, but $30 million. I mean, I'm just saying.
Javis was arrested and charged with conspiracy, bank fraud, wire fraud, and securities fraud. But her lawyers tried to create this defense that JP Morgan was just dumb. Which, honestly, I'm kind of shocked she managed to get away with this, but I don't think that makes a solid defense at trial. Like, they were just trying to argue that it was just like this poor 28-year-old versus 300 investment bankers from the largest bank in the world, and that JP Morgan rushed the deal because it was scared another bank would beat them to it. But the judge, Alvin K. Hellerstein, didn't buy it. He said, a fraud remains a fraud whether you out someone who is smart or someone who's a fool. He even roasted JP Morgan a little, saying they have a lot to blame themselves for not doing proper due diligence, But he then added, I'm punishing her conduct, not JP Morgan's stupidity. And I guess the bank getting called out for being stupid for getting scammed for almost $200 million by one woman is kind of the icing of the cake of this. But I do have a sad...
That is funny though. Can you imagine a judge being like, yeah, the girl's in the wrong still, but for the bank, bro, how do you guys almost get finesse of $200 million? You're retarded.
Feeling that a lot of people got fired because of this deal. And just looking a little bit into Charlie, I found out this whole scam a bank thing isn't her first rodeo. Because when she was a teenager, Charlie launched a platform called PoverUp, a microfinance idea to end poverty with a click of a mouse. Inspiring until you learned it was never actually registered, and some partners she bragged about that she had, they had never heard of her. So we're not really off to a great start here. She also claimed that...
Can you just imagine? She's gonna end poverty with the click of a button. Yeah, she's gonna end poverty. That's it. That's her pockets empty. What the fuck? Was this? What is this?
She turned down a $100,000 Thiel fellowship to stay in school. But according to the people who ran it, she was never offered the fellowship. So this is kind of like the pilot episode of the same show. Big promises, no receipts, and some pretty big scams. And also, if I could find that information, then I'm sure JP Morgan could have as well. But I guess they weren't just really looking because, you know, they hadn't been scammed yet. Obviously, I'm not trying to sit here and victim blame JP Morgan if that's even possible, but I'm just saying, Charlie...
I victim blame JP Morgan. Bro, you guys almost got finessed $200 million. You guys are idiots.
Seemingly is not the right person to do this kind of deal with. Obviously, in hindsight, you see that. But I guess they just skipped the whole due diligence part. But the other day, Charlie Javis finally faced the music. She walked into a Manhattan federal courtroom and broke down crying, telling the judge, I feel nervous to plead before God and before you, Your Honor. At 28, I did something that goes against my grain. I let down those who trusted me. These errors, this complete collapse of character is its own sentence. And prosecutors, they wanted 12 years. Her team begged for 18 months, and the judge, I guess, just split the difference and gave her 85 months, just over 7 years, plus 3 years of supervision.
Wait, so she was crying and begging from what's the face from the judge because this was what is out of character or whatever words she used. Girl, you tried to scam $175 million and you're telling me that this is somehow out of character, even though there's early prior things of you practically scamming and stuff. This is not out of character, out of the grain, or whatever word she used. No, this is very much in character of yourself. Okay, this is you. This isn't like oh the what is it the money got the better of me. No, this was always you. You just what is it? Not that what is it? Not that you double dipped, triple dipped, bro. You dipped your entire hand into that sauce, and now that you were so knuckle deep into it, you thought, oh shit, I fucked up. Yeah, you did. Now the evidence is all over your hand now. Such a weird analogy to put it, but yeah.
Release. She also had to pay back $287.5 million in restitution and forfeit over $22 million in profits. I have no idea how she'll ever pay that back because it's not like anyone's going to really trust her with giving her a whole bunch of money now. So, yeah, she's put herself in quite the pickle. And it's crazy that it all just started.
Hey, man, she should have wired that money to like a Qatar bank and just fled over there. I mean, I don't even know if that would have worked, but I don't know.
Here.
We have someone here that can help us with everything that we need to know. Let us introduce you to Charlie Janfees, founder and CEO with withfrank.org, a company that helps students with the financial aid process. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, that's rough. And I guess when she told students to dream big, but dream smart, she forgot the part where lying to a bank isn't exactly a smart business plan. Like, this isn't just like one woman making a few oopsies on her spreadsheet. Like, this is what happens when startup culture rewards whatever this is. I guess this is just like straight vibes. This is like vibe coding, but before vibe coding existed. Like, the whole fake it till you make it motto is cool and all, but you better not be doing it while selling your company, especially for $175 million. And prosecutors even said this is just a part of an alarming trend of founders lying about their growth and user numbers just to make themselves look like the next billion-dollar unicorn. And spoiler alert, that's not worth it if you end up in prison for years after doing so.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, I've seen things like this quite a bit of times over the years. The amount of times that companies would inflate their own numbers, so their investors, their buyouts or whatever, you know, mainly investors would invest more into the company to buy out the company, or you know, and things like that. Oh yeah, I've seen this happen multiple times over the years. It's frighteningly, it's pretty frighteningly, like, practically uncommon it is. Now, I'm not saying that it's common, but I say it's to the point where it's going to like the uncommon part. You know what I mean? Like, it's not too common, but it's not like it never happens either. It's pretty uncommon when it happens, but yeah, it's pretty damn scary.
So, and again, what's so frustrating about the story is Frank did technically help some students. The site was not fake, but the numbers were extremely exaggerated. The irony of this whole thing is just kind of hilarious because this is a company that's built to help manage people's money. And honestly, it just ended up imploding because its founder couldn't be honest about the money. So,
bro, this girl could have had probably, I mean, if it really stayed true as it was, it could have been a billion-dollar company maybe in about 20 years, probably. And here's the thing, she would have been living super good in 5 years. She probably would have been practically retired from the company in 5 years if she really wanted to. I mean, 300,000, that's not a small feat. That's not a like small user base at all. That's actually pretty decent. But dude, the money really got to her. It really did.
I guess that was just yet another fascinating story that unfolded on the internet. But hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Honestly, man, she got too greedy, bro. She truly did. She got too greedy. But anyway, all right, guys. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh man, she was stupid. Peace.